I understand you're not from a large city area. Are you from a farm or a small town?
Small town.
What part of a small town? The so-called good side of the tracks or the other side?
The other side.
When you say the other side, exactly what do you mean? What was wrong over there?
Well, where all the guys get in trouble all the time.
You mean the police were down there all the time?
That's right.
And you were raised in that particular area, is that right?
That's right.
How old were you when you got into what I might ask to be your first major difficulty with the law?
Well, I was 17. I stole a car.
Why a car, and why then?
Well, I got in a family argument one night, and I just wanted to get out of town. I was mad at everybody. So I went uptown and I stole a car and started to leave.
What was wrong at home?
Well, that's none of your business.
You stole the car, you went uptown. How long before you were caught?
Well, the same night.
By the county police or state police?
State police.
What happened to you then? They put you in jail?
Right.
What next?
Well, I went to court and the judge gave me probation. I beat the rap.
When you say you beat the rap, what do you mean? You didn't consider probation too heavy?
No, I thought I got off pretty light. I mean,
Did you make probation all right, or did you get in some more difficulty?
No, I got in a little trouble.
What sort of
trouble? A couple
trouble?
of weeks after probation.
What sort of trouble did you get into?
Well, I burglarized a place and got sent away to reformatory.
For how long?
For 1 to 3 years.
So you violated your probation. Well, what did it mean to you to violate your probation? That would be pretty rough on the average person.
It didn't bother me.
Well, why didn't
it?
it?
Happened.
Why didn't it bother you? Would it bother the average person?
Well, I'm not the average person.
Did reformatory do anything for you?
Oh, I met a few guys that knew a little more about the kind of life I wanted to lead, and I learned a little more about what I wanted to do when I got out.
In other words, you were getting an education in there, not the type of education that I would consider a good one. Is that right?
That's right.
When you got out, where did you go? Did you go out on parole, or did you serve all your time?
No, I went out on parole, and I got out on parole and went to Oklahoma. And I met a couple of guys in Oklahoma in a bar one night. And, well, they were the same kind of guys as me, so I started talking to them. We got pretty friendly. And we went out this certain night and robbed about 9 motels.
You were using a gun,
Right.
and you met some fellows in a bar.
That's right.
You said they were something like you. What do you mean by that?
Well, they kind of thought the same way I did, and they wanted the same things I did.
They wanted the same things. Well, when you say that they thought the same way you did, what are you talking about? What do you mean by that?
Well, they wanted money easy. They didn't want to work for it. There's a lot of suckers in the world, and we didn't figure we were the suckers, so we just get it the easy way.
Didn't you figure there was anything wrong with this? This might sound a little funny to you from what you've said, but a man could have gotten killed in a motel robbery. What about that?
He got killed.
Didn't make any difference to you?
That's right.
Why?
Well,
Why wouldn't it make a difference to you for a man to get killed? Maybe by your hand.
I wouldn't nobody worry about me if I got killed or anything. So I don't worry about anybody else.
If
I'd killed him, it'd just been another death to me, is all.
That's the way you operated?
That's right.
That's the way these fellows operated?
That's right.
Did you think you were big timers?
That's right.
Well, what happened? Did you get caught for that?
Yeah, we got caught, and I went in front of this other judge, and I beat that rap, too.
How did you beat it?
Well, the judge asked me if I wanted to go in the Army, and naturally I said yes. So I went in the Army, and I wasn't in there very long.
What happened?
Oh, they kicked me out.
For what?
Well, just about everything. I just didn't like the Army or the people in it.
Where did you go after you got booted out of the Army?
Well, I went home. I thought maybe I still had a home. I went home for a couple of days, but it was the same thing, so I took off again. I didn't want to work, though.
And that put you nowhere, more or less. You didn't want to work.
That's right.
What did you do?
Well, I started meeting older women than me.
They were supporting you? You were living with them?
That's right.
How long can something like that go on?
Well, until I end up in a penitentiary for the rest of my life.